Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all of my patrons. My name's Neil and it's time for the next episode of QI. I've been meaning to jump into the current season of QI for a while, guys, but I put it off because we weren't getting the XL versions on YouTube. They've finally started to drop. Unfortunately, not the ones for the start of the season, but starting with episode 9 of the current season, we're now getting the XL versions on YouTube. So those are the ones I'm going to be reacting to. I really enjoy the Sandi Toksvig version of this show, and I also love the XL version because that extra 15 minutes of content, often that's where the real hilarity of the show happens. I'm excited to just jump right into it. Maybe some more topical conversations, maybe some revised thinking on stuff we all thought about. Like when QI started, Pluto was still a planet, guys. Like, we know that facts change over time as science evolves. So I'm very excited to get into some current QI. So let's jump right into it. This is episode 9 of the current season, S. And this one's all about S animals.
Tonight we are on safari. A snake in the grass, Josh Widdicombe.
Josh!
The seal of approval, Beaton. The squid pro quo, Jamali Maddix.
Ah, nice. We like Jamali.
And he doesn't give a shih tzu, Davies.
Oh, shih tzu. Seagull.
Oh, it's supposed to be a snail.
Oh.
What's the world's second deadliest hunter?
Okay, well, humans obviously number 1. Sharks? Since it's S animals?
I can tell you what the first is if that's helpful to you.
Yeah, what is the first then?
Okay, so we did it on the O series. At the highest kill rate in nature, it has a 95% success rate.
Oh.
Is it an ostrich? No.
An ostrich?
Ostrich? They're not even carnivorous.
No, weird, it doesn't even
Octopus. Hippo?
No.
Is it a mosquito?
It's a dragonfly.
Oh, jeez.
The hippo is very dangerous, darling. Very, very.
Yeah, but they're not
Thank you for
hunters.
telling me that like so I don't feel silly.
The weird thing about hippos is that they are tremendous killers, but they're vegetarian.
Like me.
That is really hiding in plain sight. I'm a killer, vegetarian.
I wouldn't be surprised if you turned into a serial killer, darling. You look so weak from being a vegetarian.
No, it's the asthma that's made
Oh,
me
is that
weak.
what it is?
They're going in hard on your health.
It'll be awful, won't it, if I don't make it to broadcast?
Right, any more for any more?
Bird of prey.
It's the dwarf seahorse.
Of course.
The dwarf seahorse.
I know.
Really?
They're about 2 inches large. Kill 90% of the time that they try to catch some prey. They hunt something called copepods, which are usually excellent at escaping because they can swim more than 500 body lengths per second, right? That's the
pretty
equivalent
good.
of me swimming at 2,700 kilometres per hour, as opposed to what I actually do, which is look like the Queen Mary coming slowly into port. And they can do anything, up, down, sideways, whatever.
Can they?
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're just going to have Sandi doing that on a GIF.
Yeah.
aren't they?
Copepods know that there's a predator because they sense the disturbance in the water, but the seahorse's head perfectly is formed to create no wake. They're like ninjas, just casually going along, and there's gone.
What?
Yeah.
So you're saying that little thing can't see it? Because I think I would see a seahorse coming.
Yeah. Coming up from behind.
Seems unfair. Seems like someone should be behind with some coconuts going...
It is a horse.
I'd like this. Their eyes move independently
Of each other.
of each other. Yeah. So one can look forwards and one can look
they do
backwards.
the gecko thing.
An adult seahorse needs about 30 to 50 meals a day.
Is it because they're eating the little things? Is
It's
that why
'cause
they...
it's too small, darling, frankly, isn't it? You know.
So why don't they eat something bigger?
I don't know what's wrong with them.
Because it's the second
Yeah.
most deadliest thing.
Yeah.
It should expand a bit. I'm a little bit disappointed.
Are you?
I agree, because what they've done is they've chosen to keep their stats up.
Yeah. But they have to beat that dorsal fin 30 to 70 times per second in order to propel themselves along.
It feels like they could really do with some arms. or at least not dorsal fins, pectoral fins.
Once they've chosen a mate for the breeding season, they come together each morning and they perform the courtship dance, and then they travel around, look, with their tails entwined.
Is it little notes of poetry?
Yes. And then the offspring, look at the offspring.
Oh,
Left
you'd think they'd eat one of those.
Yeah, meal-sized.
Because anyone could be romantic for the mating season, couldn't they? It's like when you've got to do years of mating season.
One might be gripping incredibly hard against the other one that will.
So you're
Like a hostage
away.
situation.
That looks quite passive-aggressive, those two. They've had an argument.
What's all legs and no trousers? Or anything else very much?
It sounds like my daughter on Instagram, my teenage daughter.
Jamali's nodding, look.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, no, I've heard.
Have you? Really?
I've never investigated. I don't even have Instagram. Whatever. Be quiet. No.
Sea spider.
Sea spider.
Sea spider. They are almost all leg. Look at these. They are sometimes known as nobodies. The guts are in the legs. The genitals are in the legs. They breathe through their legs. The main problem is that they have such long legs, and I sympathise with this.
Yeah. I genuinely have never, as an adult, had a pair of trousers that I haven't had to take up.
Yeah, but what you can do is cut that off and make a jacket. You wouldn't want to be one of those.
No one want to be them or even look at them, really.
Sea slugs, also known as nudibranchs.
Is that them?
Yes, I think they're rather marvellous. There's over 3,000
Oh, I've seen some of these,
different
especially
species.
that blue and white one. That seems very reminiscent.
I think they're rather beautiful, don't
And
you?
they're the same thing.
There's over 3,000 different species. They're the same type of animal.
Can they breed with each other? Can, like, the
No.
blue angel mess with the...
What the blue angel can do, the one on the right, it can eat the stinging cells from Portuguese men of war and store the venom for its own use.
Crazy.
And the green sea slug, it is one of the only animals to get its food from photosynthesis, so exactly like plants.
Oh.
And it does it by
'Cause it looks
consuming
just
algae
like a
and then
leaf.
stealing its chlorophyll. It can eat simply by lying out in the sun.
Wouldn't
Are you
that be
sure
nice?
it's not just a leaf? You're just explaining a leaf.
This is the initiation on QI.
Describe a new way snakes are found to get about. Yes, my darling.
Is it one of
On
those
a plane.
motorised scooters?
I think they're...
That shouldn't be allowed on the pavement, if you ask me, Sandy.
Look at that, and if he hit me, he's not insured.
Too right.
No
They are
lights.
snakes, the people on them,
Yes.
I tell you that for free.
They have no lights. And
No light.
Josh is like a 70-year-old in a 30-year-old body.
No, I would love
A
to
sick
go.
I'd ride
30-year-old
them- I'd
body.
ride them through the shopping centre with a gang of other kids.
Snakes go quickly if you pee on them.
I mean, you'd have to be confident, wouldn't you?
I'd say same with humans.
You know they normally do that.
Ah, well, they move in lots of different ways.
Well, it seemed like it went off like a...
It can do. It's called
Rockets.
a rectilinear movement. So there was an issue on the island of Guam with snakes. Nobody knew this was a possibility. They saw a snake wind its tail around the pole, then hold on to the other end of the body to form a loop, and then inch its way up the pole. And it is called
Can we see-
lasso locomotion.
I
Let's take a
want
look
video of that, yeah.
For it.
It's like Stringfellows, isn't it?
Wow,
Look
it's
at
like
that.
climbing
You
a
must
rope.
like these, Jamali. Are these good?
Yeah,
No, they're
what are
cool.
these? They now think this is the fifth way of moving. So typically there's the slithering, then there's what's called side winding, then there's concertina, and then the rectilinear, and then this one now, the new lasso locomotion.
You get flying snakes, don't you? The reason I know this is because my son's a zoo.
Bit of news for you, Callie. Your son is taking the piss out of you.
No, I think
Look out, it's a flying snake!
it's a glider. It's
Glide through the air.
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
yeah.
Just fall out of trees.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Is he a particular animal that he's interested
He's
in?
doing research on the slow loris.
OK, which is...
Not quick.
It's got one of
Yeah,
the
you
massive
can pay
eyes,
attention.
right?
It's
It's
the
kind of
only
like
venomous
lemur
variant.
There it
things.
is,
Yeah.
the slow loris.
Sizing you up to kill
Yeah,
you.
just like a dwarf seahorse.
Like Josh.
Brown tree snake is a serious problem in Guam. They probably arrived on cargo or military ships during World War II, and it has decimated the bird population. It's wiped out 10 native species, and that in turn decimated the island's trees because they relied on the birds to spread the seeds,
Seeds,
and
yeah.
new tree growth fell by 90%.
All because of a new snake.
Pet off a bunch of mongoose and then
Well,
deal
there's
with
probably-
the ground snakes.
Then you'll have a mongoose problem. What they've
And then you bring something for the mongoose.
That's how tree frogs happen. I mean, cane toads happen.
the good news is they're not especially good at lasso locomotion. They're a bit slow and they slip back down again.
Idiots.
Yeah. Oh, I've got another type of movement. This you're going to love. The Chihuahuan hook-nosed snake farts defensively when it is threatened. It's technically called cloacal popping.
Cloacal pumping.
Sometimes they do it so aggressively, this farting, that it lifts them into the air.
Oh, wow.
See? These are the animals I wanted to see.
OK.
Is it true that a male snake has 2 penises or peni?
Which would you prefer, 2 heads or 2 penises?
2 penises.
OK.
What about you, Jamali?
2 penises, 2 penises.
2 penises.
Yeah.
One in the regular place and one on one hand, on my left hand.
Instead of a finger?
Instead of a finger. I'd always wear a glove.
Alan's thought about this.
I'm sorry I brought it up, Sandi.
Second head, what is the point of that?
Well, you wouldn't be lonely. You'd
Oh, you
chat.
can talk amongst yourself.
Yeah. If you had 2 penises, if you did, it would be a
Yes.
pair of hemipenes.
Is there anyone that has more than 2?
Philip Schofield.
What's the damn problem with salmon?
Is it that
Oh,
ageing rock?
they have to be able to get up over dams to lay their eggs.
And they have found a solution. It's called
Yeah,
the
they build salmon ladders.
cannon, and it looks like so much fun. You'd want to be a salmon. Have a look at this. But look, there they are shooting
wow.
through,
No.
Yeah, it's fun.
and then out, boom. I mean,
Wow, it's like when you get the bowling ball back.
before they had the salmon cannon, there used to be fish ladders. Anybody ever seen a fish ladder?
Yeah.
So the idea is that the pools are on different levels so that the salmon can jump from one to another, and it's a bit like climbing a watery set of steps. Something else that travels a long way for sex is an eel. Does anybody know how eels have sex?
Is it one of those things where they do something and then smear something on something and then put it somewhere?
Wow. I mean, the answer is we have no idea. It is one of the great mysteries of the
secretive.
world. They are incredible.
That's one of the great mysteries.
And the mystery of it is...
I mean,
what
I guess if
happens
you're an
when
eel
subjects
scientist,
receive.
it's a great mystery, but...
It's believed that this is where both the European and the American eels breed, because it's the only place you find young larvae of both species. But nobody has ever found an eel egg there, or any adult eels, and no one has ever witnessed eel mating. Sigmund Freud was fascinated by this. He once dissected 400 male eels looking for testicles. And we now
400?
know that they only grow gonads when they need to procreate.
Sigmund.
Yeah,
There's
Sigmund,
another
yes,
box
enough.
of eels, but
Eels.
really?
I'm going to keep looking.
The German biologist Max Schultz said, all the important questions have been settled, except the eel problem. Anyway, what would you use a thunderstone for?
A
You should have one
thunderstone?
beside you. This is a thunderstone. What do you think it
It looks
is?
a bit fossily, my
Yeah.
word.
Is it fossily?
It looks like a sourdough bread.
No, it looks like a sea star. Not a sea star, a sand dollar, but thicker.
You see Jamali on QI going on about that.
No, I could never go back to where I came from. Eh?
Even the man who keeps snakes near you doesn't want to talk to you. Fossilised sea urchins, they were thought by Scandinavians to have been forged from
sea
when
urchin.
lightning had struck. And as people believed that lightning would never strike in the same place twice, you would keep one in your house to protect yourself. You keep the trolls away, stop your horses getting nightmares, look after your milk.
Was the horse nightmare, was that a big thing?
The horse is so important to you, I suppose you just don't want anything to happen to it, do you not think?
It's a shame that the horse
Yeah.
can't hunt in total silence.
Like a seahorse.
Like a seahorse. I mean, if they ate cats, and only cats,
Yeah.
and no one could stop them.
Well, we can all dream, Alan.
Not the cat. Well, there's a horse here. It can't be the horse.
The word sea urchin in Norwegian is krokebollar.
Krokebollar.
Literally translates as crow's balls. Our word comes from the fact that urchin used to be a medieval word for a hedgehog. Here's an interesting thing. They use their spines to walk, as well as to scare off potential
I've seen
predators.
video of that, yeah.
And there's one that can send a sort of defensive cloud out of hundreds of these. They're like tiny little jaws going like this, OK?
Would you like second cock or venomous fingers?
But what happens when you're as drunk as a sheep?
Once when I was out running on a Cornish cliff top, there was a sheep and it had capsized and it was on its back and...
They can't get up.
No, they can't get up.
Did you get it up?
Just went through its pockets.
8 different kinds of drunkard. So here they are. Sheep drunk.
Goat drunken, sheep drunken, lion drunk. Oh.
It's incoherent. It's when you simply can't remember what word it is you want to use. Swine drunk.
That's a nasty drunk.
Yeah, you become belligerent.
Lazy, sort of heavy, lumpish. Ape drunk.
Climb in a tree, won't come down.
You know, there's ones people who leap about and sing and dance. And...
There's always a drunk that you can't get out of the tree. Come down.
Martin drunk is somebody who keeps on drinking.
Is this named after a particular Martin?
Yeah, he came up with 7 animals and
The
he had
weasel.
a mate called Martin.
No, the weasel.
Let's be honest, he didn't care about the animal bit. The whole thing was so that he could do the Martin.
Yeah.
I'll show you, Martin.
Won't buy around. Martin drunk.
Yeah. In 170 years, they'll be on TV taking the piss out of you, Martin.
What about goat drunk?
Eat anything.
It's lechery.
Is it? Goats are lecherous?
Yeah.
That's the horns.
Depends.
So I'm ape early doors, I think. But by the end, I'm maudlin. But I'd like to be clear, I'm never goat.
No. OK. The English language has at least 3,000 words for being drunk. Anybody got a favourite word for being...
Twatted.
Charge. Yeah, it's Jamaican.
Wankered.
Squiffy, I've got
That's
no
old
time for
school.
squiffy.
Yeah.
I think that might be a West Country thing, but squiffy on snake bite.
Oh, snake bite, that's a good joke.
Oh,
What is that?
Basically, it's
cider
part,
and Guinness.
Cider, part beer and blackcurrant juice, but it sends you mad.
Does it?
And they won't sell it to you, so I ask for it separately.
And then you mix it yourself?
Yeah, but then the person behind the bar goes, I know what you're doing with that.
Which of your friends is ordering the straight black currant?
Which silent saboteur scuppered the Spanish Armada? It's an animal beginning with S.
Sheep, sausage, dogs, guns.
A sloth.
Slow, Loris.
Squid.
It's shipworm.
That's another thing.
I'm not going to lie, I was never going to get it.
No, it's woodworm of the sea. Basically, there are a pair of very small shells at one end with which they can drill the passage. And the reason this is really important is that the great engineer Mark Brunel looked at shipworms and how they were working, and that is how he created the tunnelling device with which he made the very first tunnel under a navigable river under the Thames. Do you not think that's amazing?
No. Inspired by nature.
They're possibly more responsible for the Spanish defeat than either the weather or indeed the English Navy. Don't you think it's amazing to be an engineer and have a look at how a creature is working and think...
Very clever chap, Brunel.
Not like Freud and those eels.
I know, he had no idea.
Nowhere.
Brunel with Freud.
Brunel's
What
like,
are you
let me
doing?
deal with this.
You're not thinking this at all, are you? You're learning nothing from every dissection. Nothing. Stop. Walk away. Have another idea. Look at another creature.
What do they eat if there's no wood, though?
No, that's it. That's their diet. And it was a problem for them when copper bottoms came into shipping. There's an old copper bottoms boat.
That's my username on Tinder.
What?
Old copper bottom.
Shipworms are also eaten by some people in the Philippines. It's called tamalock.
Didn't David Attenborough say we all should be or will be eating insects?
Oh, he says a lot of mad
He'll say
shit, though,
anything.
innit?
I've been it.
Yeah, that Attenborough's just looking... He's just clickbait.
Are you
not.
dissing David Attenborough? That's a bold move.
Hey, listen, I say what I say.
I love Attenborough. Don't you dare diss him.
Jamali's trying to win his audience back after sourdough
Yeah,
gate.
I know. Now, what happens if you feed Alka-Seltzer to a seagull? Go, John.
Oh,
They explode?
that's the joke. That's the urban myth.
Does that mean it was right?
OK, it is not true, thankfully, I'm afraid. Truth is that birds are experts at regurgitation, so they can easily remove anything in the stomach that is causing them discomfort. The stereotypical seagull is a herring gull, and
Yeah. Mine.
they found they prefer to eat food that has been handled by humans.
Maybe they like it a little bit warmed up, you know.
I think they just want to piss us off.
That photo may be
Anybody know how to recognise a black-headed gull?
Vancouver. It's got a black
I haven't
head.
got a black head.
It's correct. It's an extra point, Josh.
Josh has been on QI before.
They have a dark brown head, and the rest of the year it's white. They don't have a black-headed gull at all. But you can tell by the colour of the head what season it is. I mean, you can tell as well by the weather, frankly. What shape do bees make honeycombs into?
Hexagon.
Yeah. Like, that's Alan's job, unfortunately. No, it's just nested circles, and that's the way circles fit together most efficiently.
What they've actually done...
The famous honeycomb shape.
They create circular-shaped cells using their own bodies as a mould.
Yes.
And then those form a hexagonal shape by themselves, the same way that bubbles sit together in a bubble bath.
What kind of bees make milk? That's the important question.
Yeah. The point is, we thought that...
Boobies.
Have you been home educating your kids? How is that going?
Well, the point is, Alan, that we thought that bees knew how to
Never
make
mind the
hexagons.
point is, Alan, you know the hexagons, and you've shown some weird... Oh, this is a good picture where it's not a hexagon. Find a proper one.
Bees are one of the few insects that can survive a winter. How do they do that?
Stay indoors.
Central heating.
Kind of.
Do
Well,
they
there is
nest,
central heating, in a way.
like, clump together?
Yes, exactly right, madam.
Yeah.
They stay warm by forming a ball of bees. It's about the size of a
my word.
basketball, and it's around the queen. It's important to keep her warm. And it's like a kind of quilt, so the ones on the inside can move around freely. Now, how can you tell if your dog's happy to see you?
Oh, they're not.
Let's just destroy
They wag
hearts.
their tails, Sandy. And again... The evidence is widespread.
The tail wagging does not necessarily indicate happiness. If it was happiness, when the dog is alone, it would wag its tail if suddenly it saw some food or something, and they don't do that. It is a way of trying to communicate.
Okay, so what's the answer? You're just saying it's not wagging a
How
tail.
do we know it doesn't?
Wag its tail. There's this new thing called cameras. How can you make your cat smile at you?
Oh, cats. Don't start with cats. I used to have two.
Feed
and
it to
one
a
would go
horse.
to the top of the curtains, and the other one would rip the curtains down trying to get it. That sums them up.
Sums them up.
I actually only had a dog for like a week once, because...
Wasn't it your dog?
Yeah, kind of. So I had this bike, he goes, I'll trade you. And I go, what you got? And he goes, I've got nunchucks. So I got the nunchucks, and I said, you got to chuck in 20. So I went home, and Mum was like, no, go back and get your bike. And I went back, and I was like, I need my bike back. And he goes, all right, but I'll give you this dog instead. And I went, all right. And then someone's knocked at my house because that guy had stole the dog.
Oh, my word.
So I had to then give the dog back. But I got to keep the nunchuck, so it's a happy ending.
Sandy, do you know what a nunchuck is?
What I do know is that Jamali and I have very different lives.
Well, I've got two cats. They have never smiled.
You urinate on it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you know what? I'm not going to check that. Say to my wife, here's a trick for you. Go and get the cats.
I thought you were going to say go and get the camera.
And it means that they're analysing a smell, so a smell like urine, and drawing the scent particles into the roof of the mouth. If you weed on a cat, it would look like it was smiling. In fact, the best way to make your cat happy is to slowly blink at it. So,
While
yeah.
you're peeing? Or...
While peeing.
You could learn many things from your puppy dog's tail. Speaking of which, what are little boys made of?
They were sugar and spice.
Smells.
No,
Girls-
snips and
girls were sugar
snails.
and spice and all
And
things.
puppy dog
Right.
tails.
Bad shit. Cigarette smoke and petrol. I don't know.
Cigarette smoke and petrol.
Slugs and snails and puppy dog's tail.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But there have been lots of versions of the rhyme. It had snips and snails,
Yeah.
snigs and snails, or snakes and snails. The truth is, little boys and little girls are actually made mostly of water. I want you to
Okay.
put these pictures in order of which contains the most water.
Cucumber.
Cucumber at number one, we agree on
I
that?
think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
one.
Sure.
What about slug? Number
Slug,
two?
we're going to go for slug number two.
A baby.
For number three,
Yeah.
okay.
And then a man, then a
I've
woman.
always thought women are more watery than men. I've said it for years.
You can't say those things anymore.
Am I going to be cancelled for that, am I?
Is that not a compliment, then?
I'm going to say men are more watery than women because of percentage body fat.
I'm going to
But-
say banana.
Banana, okay. Number five, woman.
Woman.
Number six, the man.
Dry old man. Oh, no!
Yeah. A woman is made of 55% water and an adult male is 60% water.
Oh.
Would you like a drink?
I'm surprised the banana is higher than the human body, though.
What to spare, yeah.
The slender banana slug. It's hermaphrodite. After sex, one slug will sometimes chew its partner's penis off.
Oh.
The idea is that the
just be a
slug will
female.
not be able to mate as a male in the future and therefore will allocate its resources to becoming a mother.
That's not a bad idea.
Go on, then. I enjoyed that. Chew it off. Yeah, let's go out on a high. So many snails last summer. The gardener turned up.
The
and
gardener?
It's a middle-class story.
No.
Jamali doesn't understand.
Spent all day chatting to the cook, doing no work.
Traded all the snails for some nunchucks.
He said he's never seen snails like it. Anyway, I've got this organic thing, and it said the snail won't eat. Don't worry, it's fine. Snails eat it, and then they just burrow underground.
Right, and die.
Why don't you just put, like, I don't know, I was going to say salt, but Himalayan pink sea salt.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
It's more what you... Josh, don't waste the salt. I have to, darling.
They did a study of throwing snails, 416 snails. They threw them over a wall, and then they were marked and then thrown again if they returned, and one snail came back 17 times.
Over 300 years.
Moving at a snail's pace with -19, it's Alan! With -17, Jamali!
I've never won.
Me neither.
Oh.
Okay. In second...
And just to note, my gardener is a huge fan of the show.
In second place, with -6, it's Callie.
Widdicombe wins!
With the lion's share and 3 whole points, it's Josh Widdicombe! Good night.
I love animals, but I love that there's such a variety of animals that inevitably you learn so much on an episode like this. Everything from the hunting effectiveness of the dwarf seahorse to shipworms to so much fun. I particularly like the episodes that really stick to a theme of QI. Sometimes they go a bit all over the place, but this one was really all about animals, and that was really entertaining. Congrats to Josh for finally winning his first episode. I wonder how many times he's been on. You know, I was just thinking, like, S is the 19th, the 20th letter? So we're on, like, season 19, I think. Which means this show started in 2003, or maybe 2004. I don't think the set's changed, is my point. I think in 19 series of this show, the backdrop has never changed. The Q-shaped desk has never changed. Maybe they've upgraded the monitors behind the guests. I don't know, but I love that it's just like, no, it's good. It works. It's fine. Leave it as is. Why rebuild it? Why redesign? Why upgrade? Nope. Totally good. I'd be nervous as heck if I was how to put this? If I did the panel show circuit, somebody like a Jamali Maddix, for instance, who's a public persona, I'd be nervous if it was my first time on QI, because I don't think you get that invite right away. I think you've almost got to prove yourself on other panel shows before they go, they'd be a good fit for QI, and the elves give you a call. And I'd be nervous because I really do feel like you need to be on your game and, you know, bring some knowledge and be funny. Maybe they don't take it as seriously, but I personally would be like sweating it. I feel like I'd be like watching nothing but the Discovery Channel for a week or two beforehand, just trying to absorb as much as I could prior. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I love this show. I love that I've found a core audience of you who enjoy watching it with me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/NeilTalks. Without that support, I just wouldn't be able to maintain the channel to the degree that I can because of all of your support. So thanks to all of you who have, and thank you for considering it if you haven't. And if you can't, I totally understand. Thank you for watching. It means a lot. It really does. Until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.